Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the DAX here, and we're looking at the weekly chart. So let's have a look at the bigger picture here. So we've got primary wave 3 here, primary wave 4 here, and we're looking all the way up here for wave 5 here. Within that, we're looking for a 5-wave structure of intermediate degree of wave 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves up for wave 3 here, and then we're looking for wave 4. Now this is where the complication comes in. Wave 4s can get more complicated than wave 2, especially if wave 2 is simple, then the guideline of alternation will have wave 4 as being complicated. So in this instance here, we've been looking at this in two ways. We've been looking at it in terms of a triangle, in terms of an A wave, a B wave, a C wave here, a D wave coming into here, and then an E wave here. And that E wave will be quite small, so pretty close to the 13,000 here, and then a 3-wave structure again here for wave E here, and then moving up from that point there. So yeah, that's one of the counts. The other count is that we have, if I can just copy that, we have wave 4 in on this low down here, and we have wave B here as wave 1, and we have wave C here as wave 2, and we pretty much go straight up from this point here in terms of wave 3 moving to the upside. So they're the two counts we're looking at, and of course if the 13,000 here becomes the nice tested support here, then we can assume that the wave 4 here will be, this wave triangle will be out of play, and we'll be on track with wave 1 and 2 moving to the upside. But we're following both counts, tracking both counts, and yeah, let's go in and have a bit of a look here. So on the daily chart, we have the triangle pattern here. So the triangle pattern is, in a nutshell, is basically better go in and check that, but something of this nature anyway. So we've still got this little structure here to go, and then collapse from this point here, and this one here will be in 3 waves here as well, pulling back 61.8% of wave D here. So that's where that is. On the bullish chart here, we'll look at not that chart, we'll look at this chart. So in this case here, we've got wave 4 over here, wave 3, wave 4, and then looking at this as wave 1 here, and an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here. This is very much like the Asian markets. I think I may have mentioned that before, but yeah. So and we've seen the European markets and the DAX like lag other bull trends around the globe as well, but they're very quick to catch up when they get to a certain sort of point. So in this case here, we're looking from wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then 5 waves up here of this degree for wave 1 and back for wave 2 here, and then wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and we'll see wave 3 move up through here. Okay, so let's go in and have a closer look at that. I think just check on the 4. This is the triangle pattern here on the 4-hour chart. So wave C here, wave D that will end in here, and then wave E here, and then so on from that point. So let's go in further here into wave 2-hour chart here. This is still the triangle here, and in this case we've got 5 waves up for wave A here, an A and a B and a C for wave B, and looking for 5 waves up here for wave C. So it's not finished yet. We've got wave 1 in place and wave 2 in place. We've got wave 3 not quite finished yet, then there'll be wave 4 and then wave 5 to the upside. I just drew this little line in through here. That will be some sort of resistance there as well, but obviously the 13,000 is going to give resistance to the bullish count and this bearish count as such. The question between both of them, the bullish count and the bearish count, is the bearish count drops lower where the bullish count won't drop as low. So let's go in and have a look at that here on the bullish count. Just squash it up. We've got wave 2 over here, wave 1 and 2. We could probably drag this over here. Then I'm looking, I have got a little bit of a problem in here, but I'm just going to take a leap of faith on assumption and call this wave 1 here and an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here. The trade deal news element between the US and the Eurozone spiked a few markets and put a few little things out of whack. But I may have to consider this chap in here, this little impulse move up here a little bit later. But I think it's okay here for the time being. It just makes sense. Yeah, so to the upside from this low here, we've got wave 1 and 2 in here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3. I think that's all of the third wave in here. So we're definitely going to see some little dance across here, and then a move up higher from that point there. This is kind of interesting here. If we just go in and have a look at this on the tick chart here for a moment. So the reason I think it's interesting is because we've got the 12.8 here, just the 800 is the important number for me, not so much the 12, but the 8 here. And we can see here that it was resistance over here, and now we can see that it's been testing it as support here. So technically, you would have had, this is the first high above the level here, these guys, so that would have made the entry point here, and then this one here would have made the entry point here. But all I'm saying is that long trades need to be in play because we're on the support side of the 800 here. If we're below that, well, on the other side, well then that's on the bearish side then, but we should be on this side. So what I've done here is that we've just put a signal across the top here, but you can enter earlier than that as well. So back here on the hourly chart, I've just put that on the top there, but you can certainly, now that you've had a little view of that, you can bring it down onto this second high here and take that. If it goes up through that, then be long from there. You're probably long already in all of this. So now the AEX, I've just really looked at the AEX on the bullish side of things. But as I noted here before as well, it's probably not the case. We can look at wave 3 here, wave 4 here, this wave 4 over here, and then look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then 5 waves up for wave 5 here. So that's a real possibility as well to make wave 5. We looked at that before. I just thought I'd mention that again. But otherwise, in most global markets, in the Asian markets, we're looking at this as wave 4 over here, and we're looking at this as wave 1 here in Asian markets, and an ABC for wave 2 here, and then moving in a bullish move all the way, just continuing to keep climbing to the upside there. So and that's possible too, but we just need to take one step at a time. But we know that this little move here, whichever way I count it, we need to count it in the 5 waves moving to the upside there. So I'm not sure what the best count here. Oh, this is a 2-hour chart here, which I've just been playing around with different labels in terms of different degrees of structure, but the same count is on, except for this one here, where I've got, which I think is quite good, where we've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and all of this for the third wave here. So wave 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for the third, A, B, C for the fourth here, then 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this move, the interesting thing about this is that this move here is in 3 waves, so it's corrective. So there may be another leg here before we see the upside here, but this is in 3 waves here, this little move here. So it's corrective. We will be making new highs above this high here. I just don't know if we go straight up from there or we have a more of a corrective move here. Where we've been tracking this, and I've probably changed it a bit too, is on the hourly chart here. I haven't changed it that much, but yeah, so from the low here, we've had this as wave 1 and 2 here, or the A and the B if we're looking at the triangle pattern as we have done on the DAX. But I'm looking at this more of a bullish market because well, it's just showing more bullish signs than anything else. So, and plus we're in group 2 here. If this had failed at group 2, well then I would have gone more for the triangle pattern. So in this case here we've got wave 1 and 2 here, put wave 3 and 4 here, and then this counts as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave to make the third wave here. I mean, technically we should move down to the back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, and that may be the case. We may just sort of move up here and fail. But if we take that high out here, then we'll be continuing to the upside. I mean, I'd assume that we should just come down from here into this here, you know, to give us our wave 4 back, but we also don't want to fight a bullish trend either, do we? And we want to be on the right side at the right time, and that means that if that top there is breached, then we could be long from there. You could probably go long early within this as well here, but you have to be prepared to hold it further back down. So in holding it further back down, we can normally say that the length of wave A here will have some correlation with wave C here. And because it's in 3 waves here, it would be a flat correction. So a flat correction normally stays quite flat between the top and the bottom here. Yeah, not much of a big deal to hold, but depending on, you know, I mean, 5 points is a lot to depends on the length of you know, your normal trading style. So okay, over to the UK here, and I still don't have a clear pattern here. This move here, it could be bullish, but I've counted it as a corrective wave, and that's fine. But this move down through here, it's corrective as well in terms of an A and a B and a C wave, and the simple fact that it's moved back up so high, overlapping this low here, makes this one corrective. So it can be an A and a B and a C here, or this wave 2 may already be in here, and this is just still building, just waiting for some good news to come out so it can pop up. It hasn't broken any sort of rules as such. So on this 4-hour chart here, I've counted it as ABC for the A wave, ABC for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the C wave here of B now, and that's fine. So, but that means that this market would need to come down now. So that means that this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the downside, pull back up 61.8% or to supply levels in here, which it has done, and then make a move down from here, such a move lower here. So that's how that would play out. But at the same time, I could call all of this bullish to the upside, because it really hasn't broken any rules. It's just an ugly looking beginning of an impulse wave, and yeah, so I'm still a bit rattled over this one. I don't know if rattled is the right word, but I'm certainly just slipping into patient mode here while until it breaks one way or the other. So I just really once again need to leave that there. And the Italian market here, so it also got affected by the news on the here from the Euro news. So, but once again, it hasn't really broken anything that requires us to be in bullish here. So we're still on the bullish side. So what we're looking for last time, we were up here last time we spoke, and we're thinking that, okay, it's a corrective wave to that point. But if we get a wave 4 and then a new high here, then that will give us 5 waves up here. Okay, so if it gives us 5 waves up here after a correction, which came down really low on news and so on, but an A, B and a C here for that, and still didn't take out the low here. So really, in Elliott terms, it's still we can still count it as wave 1 and 2 here, and looking at this pushing higher through here. So yeah, we're further along, but we still haven't really resolved. This will move, this little structure here, we can we can count this as wave 1 here and wave 2. Let me just have a little look on the tick chart here. I can see that, I mean, first of all, while I'm here, I can see that we still need to go up through here further. In a nutshell, the safe trade would be support on the 22,000. That's the safe trade. And even if this does come back up to here, then it's still going to have a corrective move here. So we don't really want to be long on that. And we will look for that first high above the level there. We'll also take this one long. So we still have a little way to go. I mean, if it didn't drop down here so much, if it was only dropped back down to the 61.8% mark or something, then would be much higher up through here, and we'll be in a slightly different picture, and we'll be on our way. But let me just have a quick look at just want to have a quick look at this here. So we can count that as 1, and an A and a B and a C for wave 2. And I'm not sure if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then 5 to here, and then an A and a B and a C to here, or this is part of the next trend. 1, 2, 1 and 2. Yeah, I'm not sure, but we're going up, and we've got support on here. You can go long here and leave the stop under here somewhere. That would be safe. But when you get to the 22 here, the market's going to react from here. Okay, it's going to pull back. So I mean, that's the trade setup here. We've got this as an A and a B and a C in here. So that means that we could go long based on that top. But now we've got that top, we can go long on that top. And so on, and you can leave the stop under here, but I wouldn't want this just to come up and then just come back again here. But that's a nice support there. So, but I'd certainly just tuck it under. That's the safest. I don't know how much space you've got there to do anything, but yeah. So anyway, a little short trade for Friday, and if Friday finishes strong, then Monday should follow through on that as well. So yeah, I think that's separate. Yeah, okay. So when it comes up to here, I'll have to draw over this side of the tick chart. It will probably come up to here, move back, move up there, and then have a larger correction, looking at this structure like that. And it's really when it pulls back down here again, that over here is when we want it again. So I'll call that up for 1 and back for 2, then up for 1 and back for 2 here. So from here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then across the 900 is going to give you a bit of a correction, and then up from that point. Okay, I'm just going to leave it all at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.